Have you ever pondered the speed with which life may change in the span of a single second? How is it that you are enjoying a significant event with your family 1 minute and then the next you're gone? Johnny Gaudreau was a name that was linked with brilliance in the sport of hockey. He was a sensation who graced the National Hockey League with his speed, skill, and enthusiasm. He was known as Johnny Hockey, and he was more than simply a player. On the other hand, his full and colorful life was sadly cut short on August 29, 2024. What started off as a joyous occasion for his sister's wedding turned out to be an unfathomable source of sorrow for the Gaudreau family as well as for the whole hockey community. Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew Gaudreau both died in a vehicle accident that could have been prevented. Today, we are going to go deeply into the circumstances behind this tragedy, including what led to their tragic deaths and the legacy they leave behind. The Gaudreau brothers. He was more than simply a hockey superstar, Johnny Gaudreau. A spouse, a father, a brother, and a son. He was all of these things. Johnny was born and raised in Salem, New Jersey, and his excitement for the sport of hockey began to develop at a young age. His skill was quickly recognized, which led to his enrollment at Boston College and, subsequently, his entry into the National Hockey League. It seemed like something out of a dream that he went from being a small lad playing on frozen ponds to being one of the most recognized players in the league. In addition, he was not the only one who had that desire. His brother Matthew also had a similar enthusiasm for the sport, but in a more subdued kind of manner. When it came to hockey, the Gaudreau family was more than just a one-man show, as shown by the fact that Matthew played professionally in the European Championship Hockey League, ECHL. However, outside of the rink, they were brothers who shared more than just a common interest in hockey. They were bound together by a connection that could not be severed. A connection that made their tragedy even more terrible. If you also want to stay updated on the latest true crime stories, click that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you're the first to know when a new episode drops. And if you like today's video, hit the like button and share it with your true crime community. A wedding that did not take place. It was planned that the Gaudreau family would get together in Salem County, New Jersey, for a happy occasion. The wedding of Johnny and Matthew's sister. Despite the fact that weddings are occasions for joy, love, and laughter, destiny had a different plan for the Gaudreau brothers. Johnny and Matthew made the decision to go for a bike ride through the peaceful streets of their village on the evening of August 29, 2024. Two brothers who had grown up in that region found that riding motorcycles brought back fond memories. It was a straightforward sport that enabled them to relax and unwind amongst the preparations for their wedding. A Jeep Grand Cherokee collided with their bicycles at around 8:30 p.m. when they were traveling along County Route 551 in the countryside. The driver, Sean Higgins, a New Jersey native who was 43 years old, had been drinking before to the accident. It was stated that his blood alcohol level was .087, which is slightly more than the legal limit. Even though Higgins remained at the scene, it was already too late. Damage had already been done. Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Gaudreau both passed away as a result of their injuries. What was intended to be a weekend filled with happiness for the Gaudreau family turned out to be a nightmare, and the 29th of August will long be remembered as a day filled with pain. The choices made by the driver. The warnings about the dangers of drinking and driving are familiar to all of us. However, what may occur when such cautions are disregarded by an individual? On that particular evening, Sean Higgins was faced with a decision that many of us are also confronted with, whether or not to get behind the wheel after drinking. He made the decision to drive, and by doing so, he failed to merely break the law but also ruined people's lives. Now, Higgins is being charged with death by auto, which is a severe violation that will most certainly result in a large amount of time spent in prison. That, however, will not be enough to bring back either Johnny or Matthew Gaudreau. The choice that Higgins made will have an incalculable impact on the world. Both of these young guys, who were brimming with vitality, were ripped away from their families, their friends, and the world that they created. In a short second, a choice altered the course of events. But what is it that influences individuals to make decisions that are so risky? Some people believe that it is denial, or the belief that they are not that drunk, while others believe that it is due to a society that does not take drunk driving seriously since it is still prevalent. The decision that Higgins made proved catastrophic for Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau. serving as a warning that a single wrong choice may result in the loss of life. Culturally, many individuals underestimate the risks of driving after consuming alcohol. For some, it's normalized, particularly in settings like bars, parties, or social gatherings. The internal justification that it's only a short drive, or "I've driven worse before," plays a role in people making dangerous decisions. In Higgins' case, these rationalizations might have been in play. After having a few drinks, it's possible that he believed he was still in control, dismissing the real dangers posed by even slight intoxication. This skewed perception is common among people who drive under the influence. Unfortunately, it's only after a tragedy occurs that the reality of impaired driving hits home. A world of hockey in a state of mourning. The whole hockey community was at a loss for words when they learned that Johnny Gaudreau had passed away. His previous club, the Calgary Flames, as well as his present team, the Columbus Blue Jackets, were among the many places in the National Hockey League, NHL, that paid tribute to him. The Blue Jackets issued a statement that touched the hearts of many people, lamenting not just the death of a player, but also the loss of a person who had impacted the lives of a great number of people. Johnny was recognized not just for his abilities on the ice, but also for his contagious personality during his time away from the rink. As the tragedy was brought to the attention of fans and other players, social media was swamped with expressions of sadness and bewilderment. The passing of Johnny was more than simply the passing of a player. It was more like the passing of a member of the family for those who had followed his career. Fans of the Flames and Blue Jackets, as well as hockey aficionados from all around the world, went to social media platforms including as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to share their recollections of seeing Johnny skate, score, and bring pleasure to their friends and family who saw him play. One of the most joyful people I've ever known, Johnny was described by his former coach, Brad Treliving, who worked with him throughout his time with the Flames. Treliving was Johnny's instructor. Johnny Gaudreau was a shining example of what it means to be a hockey player because of his modesty, his infectious humor, and his real passion for the game. However, Matthew Gaudreau was also praised for his own accomplishments to the sport, despite the fact that he was not as well known. The others who played with him in the ECHL remarked of his quiet persistence and how much he enjoyed the game, despite the fact that he was not in the limelight like his brother. If you found this story as compelling as we did, make sure to hit that like button and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update on the cases that matter most. Resulting outcomes. Conversations regarding drunk driving have been resurrected as a result of the deaths of Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau, especially in the realm of sports communities, where sportsmen are often held in high esteem and respect. In the days that followed the disaster, a number of campaigns started advocating for more stringent rules regarding driving under the influence of alcohol and for tougher consequences for those who drive while under drunkenness. The question that was voiced by a lot of people was, how many more lives need to be lost before we get serious about this? Fans of hockey, who were already in a state of heartbreak, started banding together in support of these efforts, utilizing the tale of the Gaudreau brothers to advocate for change. On the other hand, the Gaudreau family is now confronted with the prospect of a future in which they will not have two of their cherished boys. After Johnny's passing, his wife, Meredith, and his two children, Noah and Johnny Jr., are now forced to navigate life without the support of the man who was their rock. Equally intolerable is the suffering that Matthew's family is experiencing. The journey that lies ahead for the Gaudreau family is going to be long and challenging, but the love that they have received from the hockey community has been incredible. There have been vigils held in both Calgary and Columbus, with supporters lighting candles in memory of the brothers. As a result of the death of two of its own, the National Hockey League, NHL, which is recognized for its close-knit community, has come together in sadness. They are connected by their love of the game. What Johnny Gaudreau has left behind. Although Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau are no longer with us, their legacy will live on for generations to come. Overstating Johnny's contributions to the sport of hockey is impossible. Johnny Gaudreau was a formidable opponent on the ice throughout his whole career, beginning with his time with the Boston College Eagles, when he was honored with the Hobey Baker Award, and continuing through his dominating seasons with the Calgary Flames. Fans were intrigued by his quick, evasive, and innovative style of play, which ultimately led to his becoming a household figure. There is a legacy that Johnny leaves behind that will continue to motivate future hockey players for many years to come. However, Johnny's real legacy is not found in the statistics and accolades he received. Rather, it is found in the connections he established, the lives he impacted, and the happiness he offered to those who knew him. Johnny Gaudreau was the sort of guy that made the world a better place just by being in it. He did this in a variety of ways, including signing autographs for fans and spending time with his family, taking steps forward. While the hockey world continues to mourn the death of Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau, their narrative serves as both a painful reminder and a call to action. Both of them were instrumental in the development of the sport. Drunk driving continues to be one of the primary causes of fatalities that might have been avoided all around the globe. And while we are unable to alter the past, we are able to alter the way in which we proceed. Fans of Johnny, his family, and the numerous others who are grieving this loss should keep in mind that even under the most difficult of circumstances, there is always the possibility of a change for the better. Hope that the deaths of Johnny and Matthew will motivate other people to make better decisions. Hope that their tale will lead to significant changes in the rules governing drunk driving, and hope that their memory will be preserved through the lives that they affected. After that, I would want to thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon.